first speaker is Murray Hamalainen. Murray will be speaking on challenge.
Thank you. So, as has been stated, my name is Murray, and I have been asked here this morning to talk to you all about the challenges facing young Christians today. Of course, challenge is nothing new to Christians. The whole point of Christianity is to overcome the challenges of the world, as well as to challenge ourselves to become better people. However, Christian youth today face a very unique set of problems, which no other Christian in the West has had to face in many generations. This is the challenge of fighting conformity in society. It is no secret that young people are bombarded every day with advertisements from the radio, from newspapers, from billboards, and especially from the television. These ads push products which their creators claim can give us instant beauty, instant entertainment, anything we need to be happy. These advertisements work extremely well at brainwashing young people into believing that they need these products to be truly happy. It is especially effective because many young people today are brought up without a knowledge of God or any relationship with Him. This lack of spirituality is an unnatural need, as all people have a natural longing to have a relationship with their Creator. This leaves a hole in the souls of these youth, who try to satisfy their yearning for God with material possessions. Christianity tells us the truth, that these material possessions cannot give us real happiness, but only the service of God and our fellow man can. This service means that we must surrender ourselves completely to God in order to follow His will and to work toward a better future for humanity. However, the idea of complete surrender and servitude is made to seem ludicrous by our society. To willingly serve others unselfishly goes completely against everything that we are taught from a young age, which is that the world is a harsh and competitive place, and we must fight tooth and nail to establish our place of prominence within it. Christian youth struggle to fight against this unhealthy view of life, to resist conforming to a society that believes that happiness is only possible through selfish, instant gratification. The teaching of selfishness begins at a young age, causing all children, even Christian ones, to fall prey to this way of thinking. As the truth is that there is no difference between the child of a Christian family or that of an atheistic family. All children will blindly accept anything that the media tells them is true, and will make it a part of their understanding of the world, simply because they do not know any better. However, we Christian youth have an advantage when it comes to breaking the effect that society has on us. We have been raised with the knowledge of the Bible and Jesus' teachings. By learning about these at a young age, Christian youth gain the moral stability to be satisfied with the things that we have, rather than becoming obsessed with what we do not. I was also foolish when it came to consumerism when I was a child. I would always desire everything that I was shown on the television, and would demand it from my parents. Thankfully, they never came to me. It wasn't until I had turned 50 that I found that I could be truly happy without all the things I was told that I needed. I discovered this on a Christmas morning. My family and I were seated around the tree, unwrapping presents, as all people do at Christmas. I was unwrapping a gift which had been given to me by my mother, and underneath the paper, I found a simple, soft, brown cotton blanket. Oddly enough, this simple gift of a purely practical nature made me happier than all of the extravagant, ultra-stimulating games and toys that I had ever received before. And since then, I have not asked for gifts for my birthday or for Christmas, because that blanket made me realize that there is nothing that I, in my selfishness as a human being, want that would give me as much joy as a gift that somebody believed that I needed. But there is nothing special about my story. There are young Christians, many of them even younger than I, who have also come to this wonderful revelation. In fact, I believe that the new challenges that we face as Christians are bringing us to a new apex of Christian spirituality. Despite the difficulties of living in this self-absorbed society, despite the fact that we are told every day that we are wrong and the Bible is a lie, despite the fact that as long as this society exists, true Christians will always be a minority. The focus and determination of young Christians will always allow us to achieve a new sense of purpose and a closeness with God, which will define our generation within society for many decades to come.
Great. The second speaker today will be City Swale.
You'll have to forgive me. At one point, my computer moved part of my script to another place, and that's kind of confusing. But we'll see how this goes. Originally, when we volunteered for this, I was thinking about all the stories of challenge I have told. Unfortunately, the prospect of writing the story of triumph and joy soon adopted the cast. There you go, another story of challenge. It's not that my life is miserable and sad, it's just that I have more practice with the other. As part of the volunteer work that I do in the community, I tell my personal story to high schools in the district and speak against bullying and other current issues facing youth today. To gain inspiration for this, I visited the website Gives Me Hope. This is a forum where people from anywhere can post a short message about something they have seen or experienced that, when the world seems so predictable, can reaffirm their faith in the goodness of man. The sad thing is, people have this predisposition of believing that youth don't care. I'm not saying this isn't true in some cases. There are teens that fight and drink and sin in a naturally large amount as they are rebelling against the notion that God is real and that what you do in life really does matter. They are scared that they are not the majority. I see teens who spend all their free time studying so they can get into the best university, or who work to stop injustice in this world. And then I see kids and teens who don't get a chance to figure out what their place is before they're gone. I know this doesn't sound very joyful just yet, but you'll see what I mean. In 2003, my friend Maddie was diagnosed with cancer. She died in 2004, weeks after her 16th birthday. Just last May, my friend Francine was in a horseback riding accident. A girl I've known for a couple of years, Hannah, just lost her 11-year-old sister, Gracie, in a car accident caused by a drunk driver. This week, I learned that a friend of my father's was told by police that a 17-year-old son, Brandon's body, was found after being missing for 3 months. Maddie was an artist in many ways and shared her talent with the world, while at the same time taking on the role of neighborhood babysitter. Francine used her personal story to educate other young people of suicide awareness and how her own attempt was stopped by her young neighbor, Hannah, who wanted no advice on dealing with bullies at school. Hannah also uses her story of bullying and recent experience of losing her sister Gracie to work with WAVE and to help motivate her presentation. Brendan I did not know personally, but the response and amount of caring coming from his schoolmates and friends is astounding. Brendan's death brings about knowledge of the effects of suicide on youth. Unbeknownst to him, Brendan's regretful actions that day created sympathy for people who lose friends to suicide, and they learn not to hurt their own friends that way. I have always struggled with death, ever since I lost Maddie when I was 12. What brings me joy in this? At the time of death, many people say, "Oh, he's in a better place," referring to the thought that lying in the ground gets someone away from the bitter and terrible place that is our world. They don't often think beyond the body, think of the soul that lies inside and its destination, or the truth behind their words. Revelations chapter 22, verses 1 to 2 says, "There is a river of the water of life, as clear as crystal, flowing from the throne of God and of the Lamb, down the middle of the great streets of the city. On each side of the river stood the tree of life, bearing 12 crops of fruit, yielding its fruit every month. And the leaves of the trees are for the healing of the nations." Verse 5 says, "There will be no more night. They will not need the light of a lamp or the light of the sun, for the Lord God will give them light. And they will reign forever and ever."